Hey guys, Andrew here with TrueFit. I want to thank you for tuning in. Today's video topic is going to be on balancing blood sugar and why it is very important to be taking into account if you are in the healing process, whether you're dealing with certain health conditions or just wanting to optimize your health. It's something that you should be taking into account on a daily basis. But before I get into that, as always, if you guys can please subscribe to my channel, like or share this video with somebody that can use this information, it would be greatly appreciated. Now, the reason I wanted to do this video is I did a podcast a couple weeks ago with Ryan from the Alchemist Library, which I'll link that podcast in the description. But we were talking about just how important blood sugar regulation is. And he had mentioned a study that I thought was very fascinating. It was a study done on couples that were, argumentative, and they found that either one or both parties in the couple, up to 90% of them were experiencing blood sugar dysregulation, which is one of the symptoms that come about as you become very irritable and your tolerance to stress drops off big time. But there's a lot of other issues that come along with having dysregulated blood sugar levels, and it could be either symptomatic things that you're going through in the beginning stages all the way to certain health concerns, diseases, cancer, stuff like that further on down the road, as it does play a major role on thyroid health and metabolic health. So I got some notes here. Like I talked about, balancing your blood sugar is very crucial in the healing process. And the crazy thing is, you can eat a great diet, eat all of the best foods, grass-fed meats, quality dairy, the best fresh fruit and stuff like that. But if you're not eating it consistently enough to balance your blood sugar, if you're taking too long time between meals or you're practicing intermittent fasting, stuff like that, it's really going to throw your blood sugar levels off. And this can actually impact you not just for hours after, but for some people, it can impact them for days after the fact. Which is not where you want to be with your health, especially if you're in the healing process. So obviously you want a diet that is rich in, healthy proteins, good sources of carbohydrates, fats, vitamins, minerals. You don't want to eliminate sugar. You want, sugar combined with good, healthy vitamins and minerals. A lot of the time you'll be getting that from fruit. So, it's obvious you want to eat a healthy diet, but you want to be paying attention to meal frequency. So for me, the way I got my health back was eating 3 full meals a day, and then 2 to 3 times a day in between meals, I would be snacking. And those snacks would be consisting of things that are really easily digestible. And you want easily digestible foods because this can impact, how well you're digesting and assimilating a lot of these foods. So it can be something as simple. My favorite is going to be applesauce and cheese is a fantastic one, or orange and some kind of protein source, stuff like that. And it doesn't have to be a lot, but you eat breakfast, an hour or two goes by, you have a snack, and then you eat lunch, and then in between another meal, hour or two later, you balance it out again, and then again before bed right after dinner. So it's very simple to balance your blood sugar, but it's something you want to keep in mind in the healing process because like I said, throwing off your blood sugar levels can impact you for hours and days to come. So other notes I put here, food frequency, 3 to 6 meals. And you also want to pay attention to eliminating a lot of the bad stuff. I already talked about gut irritants that can inhibit, how well you're digesting your foods. But you also want to avoid things like polyunsaturated fatty acids. And I have a whole, library of videos on the effects of PUFA, but it's really important, especially for blood sugar regulation, because these unsaturated fats, whether you're getting them from seed oils or fish oil, stuff like that, or even stuff like peanut butter, can have an impact on blood sugar levels and how well you are actually, assimilating the carbohydrates that you're eating, because PUFA consumption does inhibit glucose oxidation, which will have a direct impact on blood sugar levels. So that's one thing to keep in mind as well. Limit your PUFA consumption, and you can also supplement things like vitamin E and aspirin to help utilize the carbohydrates that you're eating to help balance blood sugar levels. A couple more notes I got here for what happens to the body when your blood sugar is dysregulated is that it actually increases a lot of stress hormones, and it actually tampers with your thyroid production, which again has direct correlation on increasing stress hormones and downregulating a lot of those good healthy hormones, whether it's pregnenolone, progesterone, DHEA, testosterone, DHT, stuff like that. So something to pay attention to. But when your blood sugar is dysregulated, a lot of the times what they see is that cortisol and adrenaline are both increased, and that's why a lot of people become symptomatic. And some of the symptoms that you can feel when your blood sugar is dysregulated: being lightheaded is a huge one, confusion or being forgetful, poor digestion, anxiety, shaky, jittery, and like I talked about earlier, is that you can become very irritable when your blood sugar is dysregulated. And you just overall have a much lower tolerance to stress, and your joy for life, your zest for life just kind of diminishes a little bit until you get that blood sugar balance. So it's something I wanted to shed light on because I think it is very important, especially for people that are in the healing process and wanting to improve their health, live an optimal lifestyle where they have boundless energy, a good attitude, they aren't easily impacted by the stressors of life. So I want you guys to take this into consideration. Another note here that I didn't put is that dysregulating your blood sugar levels can also impact endotoxin inside the digestive system. And endotoxin, I've talked about, I have a video on, can actually increase things like serotonin, which is a stress hormone when elevated, and it can also increase things like estrogen. So, a lot of negative impacts consequences come from having blood sugar dysregulation. And I think in the pro-metabolic community, they do mention it quite a bit, but I really want to emphasize because, like I talked about earlier, you can have the perfect diet, but if you're not paying attention to these blood sugar spikes, you're not going to be making any kind of significant changes to improve and enhance your overall health. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any questions or comments, or any experience with certain snacks in between meals, or certain tricks and tips that you use to balance your blood sugar levels, you can drop that in the comment section below, and don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching, guys.